This. So we're starting now.
Yes, this is perfect. I have the applicant, I have everything and it's recording. I'm going to just turn it on and run. You guys run with it.
Okay. So
Hello.
hello. It's a Sunday afternoon, and here we are sitting in the apartment of Joseph Nechvatal for the first time, enjoying the spring and getting ready to sit down for a nice conversation about your work and projects upcoming, and talking about the concept of intersemiotic translation, which is really the point and purpose of the magazine Verse Junkies that is now going to start first online and then hopefully be translated into a hard copy version later in the year. The magazine takes its point of departure. It's a rather academic project that looks at translation from the point of view across mediums, and this is one of the reasons that we're so excited to be able to have an opportunity to talk to you. 10 years in Paris, many years in New York, where I remember seeing your work back in the 1980s, which was an exciting time for all of us, I think. Tell us about what you're working with now.
Okay, I can actually trace a rather consistent theme through my work, even starting in the 80s. If you think back on those early drawings that grew into this early computer robotic paintings with this kind of level of palimpsest, overlay, complexity. I'm still very interested in this concept of sort of visual noise in structure.
Yeah, and I was watching the video that you uploaded in preparation for Venice, and I was really taken with the sound sequences that you were working with. Now, do you compose those sound sequences yourself?
Yes, this is amazing with the algorithms that I've been using that were created in collaboration with a guy named Stefan Sikora, a programmer here, and we went to work on this computer program that can actually invade and eat and live off of an image, but it can do the same on a little audio sound, so you can get in there and granularly kind of maneuver inside a little 2-second audio loop, and creates an incredible array of different sounds, noises and sounds, which I then took and massaged into actually an hour-and-a-half long symphony called the Viral Symphony. But I still use it in sometimes the little clips that we do, and it's just a fantastic tool.
So this kind of the technology that we were talking about this before the interview. We were talking.
This is interesting right off the bat.
Yeah, right, exactly. And we were talking before the interview, just kind of joking about how technology has changed so much that it makes it possible to sit down with a laptop, do what we're doing, and that's so much different than what the heady NAG cameras and the 8 tracks and the 16 tracks of 20 years ago. Do you find that mastering this technology that you're now working with is actually easier than what you were trying to master, say, 20 years ago? I mean, do you find that it's...
I think there's always a learning curve when you go into any new system or platform or technology. Whether it was editing cassette tapes for like the TELUS cassette project, whether it was early video tapes in different formats, Super 8 films, all that. So, I mean, there's always a challenge, and there still is. I mean, it's not easy to just jump into the software, for example, and all that. But I think what is easier is, should I wait?
Let's stop and we'll step
I'm
back.
sorry, I
No
have this
problem.
incredible attack of hay fever
That's
the other
okay. Don't
day.
say you're sorry. It's quite all right.
It's fine. We'll edit out
Oh,
this
it's a pity.
and we'll just kind of back up the question a little bit. You okay?
Yeah, it's just, do you have any honey by any chance? Maybe if I just take...
Honey?
Yeah,
I don't think I do.
because I know this is nice.
Would sugar work?
Mm-mm.
No, it's got.
garden, and I just had this massive attack 2 days ago, hay fever. The pollen are really late this year, they say.
Yeah,
and
it's they say it's high season for
Mhm.
that, so. I sympathize.
I've never
with
had
you.
this before, but now I do. So I'm sorry.
No problem. We'll just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was good. We're gonna go back to Stephen Zachariah. Stephen, what's his name?
Stefan Sikora.
Stefan Sikora. So whenever Montel,
Yeah, it might happen again.
If
There's
it does,
nothing
we'll
I can do about
if
it.
it does, we'll just
Then just stop if you don't
press stop
mind.
and continue on, and we'll go back to
It might be something that we want to leave in. I don't know.
Cinema Verite.
Okay, and, yeah, that's it. Here I go.
Okay.
Wrong.
All right, so I want to just go back to Stefan Sikora and the collaboration, well, really, the services that he's performing for you. I don't know how you phrase that.
I consider collaborator. I mean, I'm the sole author of the work, but we collaborate on the software, the tool that makes the work possible. So he's an integral part of the process at this point. But I've worked with other programmers before. And,
So basically, your process right now is you find a programmer that you want to work with who has the language skills that you need to communicate
That's
the
right.
idea that you're working with.
That's right. So right off, we're talking about a merging of science, computer science, with art.
Yeah.
And in my case, a little bit of art theory. And so I think we're already crossing frontiers radically right there. And then also the interesting thing about using this algorithm is that, I mean, it used to be multimedia, right? You do a visual track and then you tack on top of it an audio track. But now I can produce visual and audio work simultaneously with the same algorithm in real time.
Right, so you mentioned this idea of like you take a visual image and then you're able to break that down digitally and use those digital granules, I think was the word you used,
Yes.
to create an audio track.
Yes.
And
That's right.
so, do you feel that, and this I think is really a question that's related to this notion of translating across medium, do you feel that you're communicating different sets of information when you do that?
Yes, I do, because it is something new that's never been done before, where you can actually produce in real time audio and visual simultaneously. It has to be considered a new avenue of experimentation. You know, I mean, as I say, we're no longer in the world of multimedia. We're in a singular digital medium that's doing audio and visual work simultaneously. So I find that very interesting, how they're interconnected.
So, yeah, and then coming up you've got Venice coming up, and I was really excited to hear about your inclusion in that program. And do you want to talk a little bit about the project that's coming up in Venice and in relation to this notion of the audio and visual and
I'm sorry, memory full. So let me see what I have to do to empty it.
Okay.
I think I have most of my my stuff on the computer, so I can just empty the whole gallery if I want to. Except what we just did.
Let's see if I can pause this for a second. Can I pause that?
I was wondering how that would work with